I think that journey word is really important. Obviously, you're on a journey, BT is on a journey. Tell me a bit about the business context. Why now? Why is there a transformation going on at BT?
It's the larger industry ecosystem. If you look at what's happening in the telecom industry, it's a very capital-intensive industry. Over time, we've shifted from our heavy investments in copper cables to fiber optics, and then shift from 4G to 5G. Lots of good things happening on the Internet of Things, for example, that we're enabling. And all of these require heavy capital investments. So that's something that the telecom industry generally battles with. It also means that for a firm that's been around for over 150 years, there has been a lot of debt, whether it's technology debt, the way we do things, cultural debt. And it's important to change with the times. So what the leadership has recognized, especially under a new CEO, is that there's a need to change BT fundamentally. There's lots of good things that's happening, but in order for us to be the next generation of service providers for a connected world, we need to transform IT as well, in addition to offering better services to our customers. And that becomes a foundation upon which a lot of our delivery of services happens.
I mean, you mentioned developers, and I think that to drill down a little bit, at RedMonk, we represent and certainly try and understand the world through the lens of the practitioner, through the lens of the developer. And I'm very interested in that journey, in that transformation. How does BT see developers differently? And do you feel a need to serve them, in a sense, so that they can deliver better business outcomes?
If you look at human-centered design, the fact that you want change to happen, and change is orchestrated by people in the trenches, and I would call them the guys who are the cold face of change. So if you aren't thinking about developer needs, specifically around the ways of working and the tools they need, better workplaces, collaboration workspaces in the physical offices they are in, or across virtual connectivity, etc., you know that you're putting barriers in the way of innovation. They should be focused on writing good code. And as long as there is toil and there is manual, repetitive, low value-added work that they've got to deal with, then that's less time that they have available, and maybe perhaps more frustration, and you can't produce good code. So our way of thinking is, and especially my job as I see it, is giving developers a wide gamut of tools, especially with regards to DevOps, that allows them to automate the delivery lifecycle. And it should be a joy to work with. And getting to the cloud is another step in that direction, is making sure they're not dealing with infrastructure and procuring virtual machines in data centers, or even dealing with installation of their CI/CD pipeline, if you will. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a service we want to build, and we think of developers as our customers, and especially my role, I think of if they are happy, they produce good code, and that's good for BT.
Yeah, we love that. I mean, the fact that, 10 years ago, nobody used the word joy and software developers and business in one sentence. So, hearing about that's great.